Welcome back, everyone, to Halloween Haunts 365.com, the podcast. I'm Jared.
Hi, I'm Terry.
And today we have a very special interview with the Blacksmith of Horror, Mark. But first we have to watch a video so you can buy some of our stuff. Well, let's introduce Mark and say hello. Hi, Mark.
Hey, hello. How you doing?
Good. Hold on, where is my thing here? Oh, I'm trying to bring up your logo. Technical difficulties, but that's okay. All right. So, let's start off with tell the fans a little bit about Nightmares Unlimited.
Well, Nightmares Unlimited's slogan is hardcore props for hardcore fans. We specialize in trying to bring the most accurate replicas on the market without breaking your pocketbook.
I approve of the work you do.
Something else we do a lot of customs, a lot of originals. That's where I really made a name for myself, I guess.
I gotcha. Very cool. When did the idea of becoming the Blacksmith of Horror hit you?
Well, that was actually a moniker that was bestowed upon me by a good journalist friend of mine, J.K. He's a journalist turned filmmaker, and he's taken a new path now, but he was one of the first people to interview me when I came back onto the circuit.
Okay.
And he said, "Ooh, how about the Master of Metal?" And I'm like, "Nah, I'm not Magneto." And he's like, "I want to call you the Blacksmith of Horror." And I was like, that's not bad. I like that. Yeah. So I just kind of asked him if I could run with it, and he gave me the green light, and it's kind of stuck. Yeah. Kind of liked it, you know?
I like it a lot. I threw it on the thumbnail.
I mean, it's a blacksmith in name only. I'm not out there pounding on an anvil, but... kind of goes with the flow, you know.
I gotcha.
How long has Nightmares Unlimited been going on?
This year will be 22 years.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Yep. Started out as a haunted house company, and I made my own props for that, and it just kind of shifted into me doing props full time.
Very cool. Definitely.
Yeah, so the seed was born in 2000, but I've been in the biz, so to speak, doing designing and operating professional size haunts since I was 16 years old.
Oh, wow.
And I'm 45 now, so yeah, it's been 29 years.
Yeah, we love our haunts.
I really cut my teeth on my own haunt that was actually on my own property. I was designing them for other people and running them for other people, but I decided to build one myself. It's called Blood Creek Manor. It was a small attraction in central New York, but my whole theme with that is we had character, you know, it was something that wasn't seen around this area at all. We had character guides. We immersed people into the movies. It was walk through sets. It wasn't like a stop, look, go on, stop, look, go on. There was always a story behind it, and audio and fireworks and pyrotechnics. And we really wanted to do like a Universal Studios type tour, only with horror movies, and obviously on a much smaller scale.
Right. I gotcha. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So you started...
It was fun.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was fun until it wasn't.
Yeah, I meet a lot of haunters and haunt actors, and one of the questions I always ask if they're not already an owner, I'm like, do you want to start one? And the answer is always no.
It's a lot of headaches. It can be the best job in the world, and it can also be the worst job in the world.
Yep. We see
a lot of it depends on your crowd. You get a crowd of rowdy, drunken people, and you're in for a long night.
Yeah. Just going to a haunt drunk doesn't sound fun to me. I don't understand why
No.
everyone does that.
No, my problem with going to haunts, because I've been in the industry so long, is everything seems to go too fast, and I just want to stop, look at the scenery, smell the roses. That's why we kind of took our time with our outdoor walk, so people could really take in the atmosphere. I mean, you spend all year busting your ass, trying to make it really cool looking. You know, you spend so much time on set design, and then, you know, I've been to so many places that just push you through because it's about numbers.
Input, output. Yep.
Yeah, it's all about numbers. We would be out there till 2, sometimes 3 o'clock in the morning, still putting people through, and they bitched about the wait. But after they went through, they were like, "Oh my god, it was so worth the wait."
Yeah. Yeah, I gotcha.
You know,
So
we just wanted to. Oh, sorry.
okay, go for it. I'm all
No,
about
we just
the haunt
wanted
talk.
to. We wanted to entertain. We wanted to make you laugh. You know, the guides would make you laugh. And then the scare actors would come out, catch you off guard, and it was kind of a roller coaster. And you really can't do that if you're just shoving people through.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the industry definitely turned that way. There's still some that pace people through, which is good. But, I mean, even HHN's the biggest culprit for just shoving you through. Because they'll have a person at, like, every turn doing this.
Yep.
Like, not even in, like, a gown or, like, a mask or something. They're just in a blue polo and khakis. It takes you completely out of their Hollywood scenes that they've been building for 6 months.
Exactly. And, you know, if you can stop, if you kind of straggle, if you're in the back, you can stop and see some of the scenery. But why the hell put in so much work if nobody can see it?
Yep.
Nobody can enjoy it. And, oh, my God, as a haunt builder, that just breaks my heart.
Yep.
It's like I put in so much time and effort into this and nobody's seen it.
I mean, especially with the money that Orlando or Los Angeles puts into HHN, let them take their time. Like, they're wide enough because it's all super ADA. Let people pass people. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be in the same group.
Right, exactly.
It's just like, because I'm kind of tempted to go back, but at the same time, it'll take away from haunts that I love here. So I'm like, do I want to go there, pay money to get rushed, or do I want to go hang out at a haunt that I love and take my time and go through it?
Yeah. Since I kind of semi-retired from the haunt business, I've been able to go around and look at the new local haunts. They're popping up all over the place. Unfortunately, these people have this thought in their head, the people that build them and stuff, that it's like a get-rich-quick scheme or a money grab. And it's not. It is ball-busting work. It really is. Hey, hon, could you give me a cup of coffee, please? Thank you.
See, I'm making them want coffee.
Yeah, I know. You just took a sip of your coffee, and it's like, damn, I want some coffee now.
Oh, yeah, coffee's amazing. So, you started pretty much with the Freddy Krueger glove, correct?
Yep. I built that for my first haunt back in 2000. So, you know, technically, I've been doing this prop building for 22 years, just on a bigger scale the past 20.
Yeah.
I took a hiatus. Me and my ex-wife, we just disagreed on what career choice I should have, so I stepped away from it for a while.
I gotcha.
And then I went through a divorce, and after the divorce, I met up with my girlfriend of 8 years now, and I was just going to go back working a 9 to 5, and she's like, no damn way. You are not working a 9 to 5. You do this thing really good, and I think you should go back and do this. And with her support, we've built quite a reputation for ourselves over the past 8 years.
Yeah, she was right.
But to get back to your question, I did start with Freddy gloves, yes.
Okay. How long did it take for you to get what you wanted out of the first glove? Like, how many tries did it take?
I built it on my first try.
Okay.
But I cannibalized one of the plastic gloves just to see how the mechanisms work. Because back then, like we're talking 20 years ago, 22 years ago, there wasn't a whole lot of information out there. There wasn't a whole lot of glove builders out there. It was me, Travis Krauso from Krueger, I believe. and Anders Ericsson from Nightmare Gloves. We were like the only three that were doing it. So I just cannibalized one, took it apart, saw it made it tick. I put it together. I still have my first glove.
I saw that
ever
picture
built.
on, I think it was Facebook. He posted it. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, here. It's hanging on my wall, actually. Give me a second.
No problem. There it is.
Here she be.
That's a pretty one.
Pretty ugly. Pretty ugly. It's uncomfortable. It hurts your hand to wear. But damn it, I made it.
Yep.
I make sure that it hangs on my wall so I can see it every day and know how far I've come.
Yeah, I see your artwork every day.
How long does it take you to make one?
You're putting me on the spot now.
Sorry.
No, well, after 22 years, obviously, I cut the build time really short, but depends on the glove. Custom gloves can take anywhere from 12 to 50 hours. And like the regular gloves that I sell up on Etsy, I can usually knock them out anywhere between, I'd say, 5 and 8 hours.
Okay.
Oh.
Thank you. Thank you, honey. What'd you put it in for? All right, thanks.
There you go. See, the coffee makes
The
it
elixir
better.
of life right there, Mister.
When did your
time-wise, when I first started building it, I couldn't get anything done. Even when I got the hang of it, it was still 9-10 hours, but it's what I do for a living now, so I'm just pumping them out all the time. So
I gotcha.
I can do them pretty quick. Unfortunately, the cost of materials keeps going up, so
Yeah.
I hear you.
I think last year was the first time I raised my prices in 15 years.
Yeah.
And I only raised them like $25 on the regular gloves and $50 on the power glove. But
Yeah.
I could probably charge more, but I try to keep them reasonable. Otherwise, I'm going to be looking at gloves and spheres and all that stuff all day long if nobody can buy them.
Yeah.
And I want people to enjoy them. I grew up as a poor horror fan, and I always wanted these really cool stuff. Like Krueger gloves, stuff like that. And it's like, I couldn't afford them, I was a kid. And that kind of started me on that path. I mean, I built the first glove because I wanted a real metal glove, but I didn't want to pay $400 or $500 for a Krueger or a Nightmare glove. So I was like, really, how hard can it be? And I'm not taking anything away from anybody. These things are a pain in the ass. But they're not really that difficult to build.
Yeah.
They're not. I build them at shows.
Right.
While I'm standing behind the table, I built gloves at shows. I built 2 or 3 gloves at Texas Frightmare this year at the table and sold them as I was building them.
That's cool.
Do you still lug that giant Freddy glove around with you?
I put it in mothballs for a little while, but I got a lot of people wanting me to bring that back out so they can get pictures with it. So
Yeah.
it'll be. I'm gonna retouch it up because it's it's been to a lot of shows, so it's like pretty beat up. The paint on it and stuff. So I'll dig it out and I'm gonna start carting it around again.
It's a big eye catcher.
Yeah. Outside Monster Mania, we're doing 2 tables at other conventions now, so we have more room.
Okay, cool.
A lot of it was just a room thing because we had so much product and stuff. It was like, well, where the hell are we going to put this? And,
Right.
now that we're doing 2 tables and spreading out a little bit, we got more room for it.
That's cool.
Yeah, people don't realize that thing's plastic. They think it's all metal.
It looks
And I
metal.
know
It
back
does.
plate is ABS plastic. The fingers are ABS plastic. The only thing metal are the bolts that hold it together. And I did aluminum blades.
Okay.
I did have plastic blades, and we got into a rollover accident on the way to a show, and it shattered all the blades. So I
Damn.
decided to do something that would withstand a little bit more. So I went with aluminum.
When did your love for horror begin?
Oh God, it's a good question. when I was a kid, my mom was like the queen of B horror movies. So I grew up on really cheesy sci-fi type horror movies. And I mean, she watched the good ones too. She watched like The Exorcist. She was scared to death of The Shining. So when she got The Shining, she watched it once and then she gave it to me. And I've been drawing monsters and everything since I was 4 or 5 years old. Godzilla was a huge thing for me. Got me into monsters. And my oldest sister, God rest her soul, she taught me how to draw and really pointed me in the direction that my life is in now.
Oh.
To art and stuff. But yeah, it started right off the bat, like right out of the womb. I think I was watching horror movies with my mom.
Yeah.
She'd probably be like bottle feed me while watching Alien or, The Exorcist or something. But it took over my life though when I was about 13, I'd say.
Yeah.
It was a good escape. My dad was a little rough around the edges, used to drink, and you get a little rough sometimes. So I'd put on a horror movie and some headphones and just kind of sink into my world, and that was my escape for a long time. So it helped me cope. And I've talked to a lot of horror fans about my love of horror, and there's a lot of similar stories out there that horror fans use it as an escape from reality.
And it's always from birth. Like, my earliest memory is Freddy Krueger. It really is. I remember my uncle. We learned how to steal VHS tapes by recording to another VHS tape really early
we did
on.
That.
Yeah. So he got me the first 3 Nightmares, and I watched it till the tape broke. It's just always been there.
I loved it. Those big satellite dishes that people used to get, the ones you could like contact, like Ukraine from
Mars.
Yeah.
Huge Mars, yeah. They had this channel on there called Select TV, and they showed it was kind of like an off-brand HBO, like a Wish HBO. And I remember being 8 or 9 years old, and they were doing a creature feature of 2 movies that just came out, Fright Night and Reanimator. Well, Reanimator's a little rough around the edges. My mom's like, nah, I don't really want you watching that. So I wait for everybody to go to bed, and I snuck down and I watched the creature feature. And, then I didn't sleep for like 3 days. But it was great. Fright Night, Reanimator. I do props from Reanimator. So that had an influence on my life.
Do you have an all-time favorite horror movie?
The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing.
Okay.
A close second would be Nightbreed.
Okay.
I wanted to be a special makeup effects guy when I was a kid, and I don't know. It went from makeup effects to, I drew and painted all the time, and then when I picked up a glove, I just started metalworking, and I fell in love with that. So I was like, oh, shit, I kind of have a knack for this, Why don't I do this for a while?
I mean, it's not a bad turn considering how much computers have taken over the effects. So,
yeah, that's true. Who was it? A friend of mine, Steve Petronio. He was the assistant sphere master for Phantasm 2, and he found me through eBay back when I used to sell on eBay about, 6 years ago. And he contacted me because I had the drill bit right for the Phantasm 2 sphere, and he was like, hey, man, you should come out to Monster Palooza and hang out with us. We'd love to meet you. So we flew out there and met him, and come to find out he's one of the head guys at Disney Imagineering out in California.
Wow.
And he offered me a job on the spot, seeing my work. And unfortunately, at the time, I was going through a divorce and I didn't have custody. It was a whole big deal, personal stuff. And so I had to decline. But, he's still, when we talk, he's like, it's still open for you. It's still open for you. Kind of like doing what I do.
Yeah.
I can't imagine working. I've worked for myself for the past 8 years. I can't imagine working for anybody else. Huh?
Right.
And he actually had to go to Imagineering and start working for them because he because computers were taking over so much, he found himself without a job a lot.
Yeah.
But I mean, he worked on some pretty iconic films. He worked on Phantasm 2. He's worked on the Stargate movie. When that came out, he still has props from it. And he did all the weapons of Men in Black.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So it was pretty neat to have like a Hollywood effects person impressed with my work. Very humbling.
That's badass.
What is your favorite horror franchise?
Oh, that's a tough one too. God, you keep putting me on the spot.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Hold on, I gotta look around my collection room. Franchise. Believe it or not, it's probably a little surprising. It's going to be surprising to you because it's not Nightmare on Elm Street. It's not Phantasm. I love those movies. They got a place in my heart. But I think it'd be the Saw franchise. I'm really in love with the Saw franchise, even though that came out way after I was a kid.
No, I mean this just came up in our last interview with Nightmare Christie. Saw, I love the timeline that Saw keeps. That's what I love about it. Is there's no crazy third movie. There's no Nightmare 2, whatever the fuck that was. There's no he's not going to Manhattan. So I mean, the timeline really kept it together, and none of them were terrible. So I mean, it was consistent. Is what I liked.
Back in 2005, I got it on 2005. 2005 or 2006. I don't know. It was Monster Mania 6. They had Shawnee Smith there, and they had Jim. Oh, shit, his name escapes me now. But he was a prop master on Saw. He designed and created the traps with him and his team. And he saw my work, and he offered me a job on the spot when he saw my work. He's like, hey, would you want to come to Toronto? And unfortunately, my ex-wife is like, no, he's not going to Toronto. He said, and I'm like, oh my God, it's like the opportunity of a lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jim Murray. That was his name, Jim Murray. And yeah, I was like, oh my God, this is my big break. And it's like deflate my balloon a little bit. But, time goes on, and, I got back into the gig, and I've worked on Joe Bob Briggs, so everything kind of came together. But the thing about the Saw movies is there were so many, and it was one right after another. The timeline was one right after another. It became kind of a serial at that point.
It did.
And, I appreciated it. I like that. It wasn't episodic. It was a serial.
Yep.
Very cool. Big on some remakes. Some remakes I think are great. I think everybody has too much hate for remakes. It's like, give it a chance. Give it a chance.
I only have hate for one remake.
Which one's this?
The Nightmare on Elm Street.
I don't have hate for it.
I couldn't do it.
I think Jackie Earl Haley did the best he could with what he had to work with. It wasn't a great script.
Correct. I didn't like the makeup, and that was a weak ass Nancy.
Yes,
I think that killed the movie. Was her.
And again, it's people have a lot of hate for Jackie Earl and Rooney Mara, I think was Nancy.
Yeah.
But again, you can only do what the script tells you to do and what the director tells you to do.
That's true.
That is true.
No one was going to like that because it's not like somebody throwing on a Michael Myers mask or somebody throwing on a hockey mask, which I love Kane. Don't get me wrong. Anybody can do that goddamn part.
Yep.
They just can. Freddy talked, he acted, he had dialogue, and he just had mannerisms that just can't be duplicated.
Yep.
So no matter who they got, they were going to hate it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's just one of those unnecessary remakes. Like the Friday the 13th remake didn't feel like a remake to me at all. It felt like another story in the Friday the 13th universe.
Yeah.
It just felt like a sequel.
I honestly really liked it because the whole opening scene, he wipes out a whole camp, And then it goes Friday the 13th. I'm like, holy shit, he just killed everybody.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, it's like a 10-minute movie. Are we done? Are we done?
But yeah, they made Jason incredibly strong in that movie, and I liked it. He was moving quick. He was killing people. He was not fucking around.
No, he was not. No, he was not. And I really like Derek. You ever meet Derek Mears?
No, not yet.
Oh my god, one of the nicest guys and celebrities I've ever met in my life.
I get to finally meet
Probably
Kane.
met 500-600 celebrities. He's like their top 10 nicest I've ever
Oh,
met.
wow. I have to keep an eye out for that. I finally get to meet Kane in December.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where are you guys located?
We're in South Jersey.
Ah,
We're probably...
you've never met Kane at one of the other Monster Manias?
I don't really go for that. I really go for the vendors.
You know, I'm not a celebrity hound either. Like my first, when I did them back in the mid 2000s, I did like 3, maybe 4 shows, and you know, you get kind of starstruck and you become an autograph hound a little bit. But what the hell am I going to do with an autograph?
Yeah.
I'd rather just hang out and meet them and talk to them, shoot the shit with them now.
And that's why I'm doing it, because we get to actually have dinner with them and sit down with them. And it's an event friends of ours are hosting. So we're going as, you know, the podcast to boost subscribers, but get to meet Kane at the same time and shoot the shit.
Yeah, I've done so many shows with Kane that, oh, God, we started fucking with each other at one show, and it just didn't stop. So every time we see each other, we're always fucking throwing insults and, you know, shooting the shit. And he's like, oh, God, not you. I was like, oh, you beat me to it. I was going to say the same damn thing, Kane.
That's awesome. Yeah, I still haven't met Robert yet either. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Robert's super nice. He's getting a little cranky in his old age, I think.
I'm sure
I
after...
ain't getting, you know, you sign 2 billion autographs, you got to get tired eventually.
Right.
with the same
I'm surprised he
questions.
hasn't had like 17 carpal tunnel surgeries. Maybe he has. I don't know.
Yeah, with the same 5 questions probably over and over and over and over again.
Oh,
Couldn't
God,
imagine.
yep. Well, it's easy money, though.
Yeah, yeah. He's not hurting.
He's probably made more. There's no doubt in my mind he's made more in the convention circuit than he ever made starring in anything.
Probably.
Probably.
Because you got to figure it. When I first met him in 2005, it was $25, multiple table selfies. He actually stabbed me with the glove I made. I made a custom glove and he stabbed me with it. That was hanging on the wall. Let's see if I can show you that one.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Still on the sign?
Yeah.
Oh, he signed it.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got rip claws on it. Those rip claws went right into my chest, made me bleed. So I got stabbed by Freddy Krueger and lived to tell it tale.
That's pretty
awesome.
Now I got a random question for you.
All right.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I grew up in a 200-year-old farmhouse, and I saw shit and heard shit that absolutely cannot be explained by science. I don't care. Because I am a healthy... I have a healthy amount of skepticism in me. I'm actually a skeptic first and like a believer second.
Yep.
But it's, you know, I sit there and I tell people stuff that happened to me in that farmhouse and happened to, you know, my family. And it sounds absolutely unbelievable. It's like, yeah, you're full of shit, you know? So I don't really tell my story too often unless I meet other believers. Because when people tell me stories, no matter how fantastical, that are similar to mine, it's like, you're full of shit.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, and I, you know, I'm such a hypocrite in that, but it's just the scientific and skeptical mind of mine. And you also have to read the person.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you seem like you tell a lot of tall tales. I don't know about this one.
Yeah, I became a certified demonologist for interest in starting paranormal stuff, you know, start hunting. But really, like, I want to do the opposite of all these TV shows. I want to prove these places aren't haunted.
Okay.
And I do believe, I strongly believe. I've seen it. I've been through it. I've heard it. I've been touched. But I don't believe all the hype behind most of these places. So I'm going to take like a reverse look at this and see where that happens.
Yeah, well, what was it? It was a few years ago, probably 3 years now. My girlfriend and I and a group of our friends rented Waverly Hills Sanatorium for the night. And so we spent the night in Waverly Hills, and I gotta tell you, I spent an hour on the slab in the morgue.
Yeah.
They needed a volunteer, so I volunteered to do that. And then they took off and they kept investigating. I was in that morgue for an hour, and it felt like something was grabbing my leg, but that could have been my leg falling asleep for laying flat on a goddamn, slab thing for that long. But I never got an ominous feeling. Like some places I've been to, it just don't feel right.
I gotcha.
And Waverly, in my opinion, was different. I mean, it probably is haunted. I didn't see anything personally, but I didn't feel anything like evil was there or demonic, anything like that. Because you got to figure, when you go to a sanatorium, when these people went, they knew it was probably the last stop before God. And a lot of them probably made their peace with it.
Yep.
So
especially with that one being a what was it, a tuberculosis clinic?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tuberculosis. Yes. And I never got the feeling that there was anything evil there.
I gotcha.
If anything, it was peaceful because all the windows were wide open. It was a cool spring night, and the wind was blowing through it, and it was pretty cool. We heard and saw some things were a little sketchy, but I mean, it could be anything for crying out loud.
Yeah, it's a big place.
We didn't catch anything on recording or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I think that places like that people go to that they know they're going to die are going to be less active than, say, Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, where they don't understand what death is, and they're violent, and they die, and they don't know they're dead. To me, that's going to have a lot more bad interactions, give you a lot more bad interactions with ghosts or spirits, if you will.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That's just my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It does make sense. Okay, so back to Nightmares Unlimited. We know your schedule has taken a bit of a hit, but in the normal build schedule, do you have a set number of gloves you take to Monster Mania or Frightmare weekend?
Our Etsy store, it started off, it was kind of a slow start, and then once it started building and just built and built and built and built and built. And, I try to honor those orders first, so I don't take things to shows that I owe other people, like on Etsy. I'm not going to do that. It's first come, first serve. You should get your shit first. That being said, I always make a list of what I want to do, and then there's the reality of what I can do. Mm-hmm. My list is always I bite off more than I can chew. That makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I try to bring a variety of everything to Monster Mania and Frightmare. And, sometimes I get bombarded with work that I have to do for the shows, too.
Yeah.
Like Frightmare, I did all those trophies, and there was 9 of them bastards. And I'm like, holy cow, this is pushing. Well, 9 plus the first place for the costume contest. So there's 10 trophies I had to build, and it's like, that's pushing the limits of what I can actually do and get product done.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I got to do Etsy orders, I have direct orders that come in, custom orders, and then I have shows. And I cut down the number of shows I've done during the year. Now that our name is expanded and a lot of people are buying from us online now.
That's good. Less work you got to do.
Yeah.
I mean
we're super busy.
Shit. Yeah.
We're super busy all the time. Busy is a good problem to have, but it's still a problem.
Oh, yeah. So you recently made Nightmare 3 plaques for the Stars of the Dream Warriors. The pic I'm going to put up right now, you won't be able to see it, but you'll see it when it's done.
All right.
So I can't imagine how it felt doing that and handing those trophies to those guys, because I would have probably shit myself.
I think, I don't get starstruck anymore. We were talking about that, and I feel relaxed around celebrities. I just treat them like any other client. So when I approach it, it's like, okay, well, I don't approach it like this is going to a celebrity. It's okay, what can I do that's different and cool and people haven't seen before to present to these people like they were just regular clients. So I sit down and I sketch out the design, and usually I can picture it in my head what I want it to do. So once I get it sketched out, and I can now take my sketches and my final drawings and transfer them onto, into real life, which I didn't think I'd ever be able to do. So when I get the call and it's like, okay, we're doing Nightmare 3, what can you do for us? It's like, don't get me wrong, it's still a very cool feeling because I get to interact with these people. It's not like I'm playing it Joe Cool. It's still really cool. And at the end of the day, I approach it as it's any other client, but when I actually get to present them is when I start getting nervous. It's like, Jesus, I hope they like these things. Like, they're gonna sell this on eBay. They're gonna throw it in the garbage. I have no idea what they're gonna do with it. But I've done trophies for the entire cast and Stuart Gordon and his wife for Reanimator. And then last year we did Night of the Living Dead, and we did tombstones for them, bloody tombstones and stuff, and they had the logo on it. And this year we did the Nightmare 3. And out of all the celebrities I've given stuff to, only 2 people sent me any kind of thank you or any acknowledgement, and that was Stuart Gordon wrote me a letter. He said, you truly are the Blacksmith of Horror. Thank you very much for this lovely gift. It's amazing. And Jennifer Rubin sent me a thank you card.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't expect them to do it, but it's very cool that they acknowledge the work that went into this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I work my ass off to make these things, and it's like I just hope they appreciate them. That's all I can hope for.
Do you have a favorite piece that you created?
Oh God. Boy, I'd have to go down a list of stuff. I think one of my favorite pieces I've done is one of my mashups, and it was the Hell Razor glove.
Okay.
Hell Razor, like a razor.
Yep.
Glove. Have you seen that glove?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I can send you a bit. That was one of my favorite pieces, just because of the complexity of it.
Yeah.
The harder the pieces to do, the more I like it sometimes because it's a challenge.
Right.
The Phantasm glove. I did the Evil Dead glove with a double blade, and if that wasn't such a pain in the ass to build, I probably would put that at the top.
Okay.
But, just all the shit I went through just to build that glove, and it was like many, many hours of trial and error and failing and like broken pieces and having to redo it. And, it was a struggle, but my favorite pieces are the custom pieces I do. And the new the superhero stuff I'm doing lately, like the Green Lanterns and the Flash symbols and stuff like that.
Yeah, that lantern looked really cool.
The one I did for my brother, I built that one from scratch. That was the Hal Jordan Alan Scott one I did. I built from an antique railroad lantern I found.
Very cool.
I just like doing new stuff I haven't done a million times.
Yeah, I like the Scarecrow glove. And your whole
that one. Oh my God, that one was pretty complex too.
That was dope.
Thank you. You know what? I forgot about that. I built so many bizarre and custom gloves. I forget half the shit I built. Scarecrow didn't even enter my mind. So yeah, that would have to be my top 3 in builds. Is like Scarecrow, Hellraiser, and the Evil Dead glove I did.
Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I prefer doing custom work, but, replicas pay the bills, and custom work keeps me from being bored.
Very cool.
What is the hardest piece to fabricate?
Probably anything custom. I like to push the envelope, so the customs I make get harder and harder. Like the Scarecrow glove, oh my God, that took forever, and I had to wire it, and I had to figure out why it wasn't lighting up, and I wanted to throw it across the shop a couple times when I get it all set, and then one of the lights wouldn't work, and it's like, are you kidding me? But the ones I do on a regular basis, probably the hardest to nail down that would seem simple are the Hellraiser boxes.
Okay.
Just getting them square and stuff. The guy that supplied me the mahogany, he told me it was kiln dried. It obviously wasn't. So I went as it being kiln dried. So I had 6 come out of this one batch I did. I had 6 come back that I had to completely strip down and redo because it dried and all the brass on it buckled. And we lacquered the shit out of them. So all the lacquer cracked and they look like hell. And it's like, are you kidding me right now? And so we decided to get a different mahogany supplier. It's a little more pricey, but at least I know I'm getting something that's dry.
Yeah.
So that was very challenging for us. Now that we, hopefully, fingers crossed, got that one done, that was not as challenging. Anything I have to do with standing chains is a pain in the ass because I gotta hold them and solder them, and you hope you get every link, and you don't really know until you take it down, and then it's like, shit, I missed one. I gotta go back and start over again.
Are there any new pieces you're interested in attempting?
Yeah, I'm working on a popcorn gun from Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Okay.
Oh.
I am working on some stuff for Trick or Treat Studios. That is one of the pieces I'm working on for them. I'm working on the Jeepers throwing stars.
Okay.
And the daggers. Working on the daggers.
Very cool.
New pieces I want to attempt. I don't know. It's hard to say. Like I said, I've been getting into the superhero thing a lot. So right now I'm building an umbrella gun for Penguin.
Oh,
I was
okay.
just going to say Penguin.
Yeah, so I'm doing like a little cosplay as a Penguin. I have to rethink my Riddler staff, stuff like that. I have a ton of projects and no time to work on anything.
Yeah, I know how that is.
Yeah, my injury, well, it's not really an injury. It's a condition I have. This 1 in a million condition I had in my back. I had to get operated on. It's kind of a blessing in disguise because I got a chance to shut down the shop for a while and catch up on orders. I still got a few outstanding orders I got to do, but it's also given me the freedom to think up new ideas because I can't machine anything right now. I can't lift anything over 5 pounds really.
Yeah.
I mean, they say 10, but man, I pushed that limit and I could it feels like the staples are going to pull right on my back. So I was like, no, I'll stick to 5 for now.
Yeah.
I'll get my staples out.
That's a good
But
idea.
I can't really do a whole lot of the machining and the physical stuff. So it gives me a chance to work on some new stuff. I am working on a movable Hellraiser box right now, though.
Nice.
That is not a physical. It's the one that I'm working on the star pattern, and it's going to be all mahogany and brass and stuff. And yeah, we just I had an epiphany the other day, and I was like, holy shit, I know how to do this. I can do this. And it's like, damn it, I can't do this until I get healthy. But yeah, that's it. That's a new piece that's going to be coming out. People keep asking me when I'm going to do a new Nightmare glove, and it's like, that's something I don't have a whole lot of time to do because I have to sculpt the whole thing out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it takes time. It takes time, and it's like I make molds on small stuff. I don't do anything that large yet. So it's kind of intimidating to even think about tackling that.
Yeah,
right now.
It looks, that does not look fun, the new Nightmare glove.
Yeah. No, I heard Nightmare gloves keeps having issues with stuff breaking and popping off and stuff, and it's like, if I build the shit, I want it to last. So
Yeah.
It's like,
Where do you see Nightmares Unlimited in 10 years?
in 10 years?
Yes.
Oh, God, if I'm still alive in 10 years. I see us working more with movies and on more TV shows. The more shows I go to, the more I meet directors, producers that see my work and are interested in me doing work for them. in a CG land, a lot of times it's indie films
Yeah.
that you have to do, but I mean, it's still something to
Right.
get your foot in the door.
Yes.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I would also like to be back into the haunt industry in 10 years.
Okay.
As much as I say I don't want to do it, once it's in your blood, it's in your blood.
Yeah.
So, I'm looking on designing it and having it built, and maybe managing it and doing a little, acting in it, but not as involved. Having people I can count on to do the day-to-day operations, so I can actually enjoy coming up with shit to scare people and enjoying new things. And I have a notebook probably 2 inches thick of haunt ideas.
Oh.
I've been out of the haunt industry for 10 years, and like a few months after I closed my doors on my last haunt, and I closed it because of personal reasons. We were doing well, we were expanding, and it just, I had too many family members and especially in-laws that were involved.
Yeah.
And it just made it no fun for me. So I just kind of closed the chapter. I ended the chapter of my life on that. But 2 months later, I was writing ideas in notebooks, and I still do to this day.
Yeah.
So I have so many ideas for haunts. So I would really like to be back into that.
Nice.
That's very cool.
So that's where I see us. I know, I'm not going to be a millionaire doing this stuff, but, I'm not hurting. I'm not hurting. I make decent money, and people are like, I heard it from a lot of my colleagues, and a lot of them just built like Freddy gloves and stuff like that. And they're like, well, you can't make a living doing this. You can't make a living doing just Freddy gloves. And it's like, it was never my intention to make a living just doing Freddy gloves.
Yeah.
You got to expand your horizon. And some of these guys that come out, some of these new guys, they pigeonhole themselves, and they're like, ooh, let's call it Dream Killer gloves or something like that, and it's like, well, you just kind of, is that all you're going to do is gloves? And it just, branding was a big thing when I came up with Nightmares Unlimited 22 years ago. It's like, I need something that's open enough where I can do anything.
Yeah.
Right.
But they know it's going to be horror. Like the comic stuff, we're launching a new like subline to try and separate what I'm doing there called Dark Comic Universe. We're working on the name. But it's like a dark universe for like comic books and stuff like that. It's like what these things would look like in the real world, but we're going to come up with a different name for that.
That's pretty cool.
Because you have to brand it properly, otherwise you're kind of stuck doing what you're doing, and
Right.
Yep.
people are just gonna, mosey on by. So Nightmares Unlimited was pretty almost generic enough to fit a lot of stuff under that. So we do haunted house design, we do props, we work on movies, we've done work for theme parks, we've done work for television shows. So, it kept the door open for us for sure.
Very cool.
But yeah, I don't know. Well, if I'm around in 10 years. I hope so.
We will be.
Yeah.
I just want to be healthy, man. That's all I want. I just want my back to be better so I can actually do some shit again.
I don't have any more questions.
There's another question up there.
You want me to do it?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Wait a minute. What's that?
It's not bad.
Okay.
If anything, would you change? What would you change about Nightmares Unlimited? If anything.
The only thing I would change is my drive to go out and get the licenses myself.
I gotcha.
Trick or Treat has like all the licenses, and Justin Mabry's a friend of mine from way back. We used to sell at the same table together. It was me, Justin, and Ben Scrivens from Fright Rags. We all sold at the same table back in 2005 and 2006.
That's cool.
And so we all came from the same spot. I kind of want to be where Ben and Justin are. But if I could change anything, the only thing I would change is I never would have walked away when I did.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I should have held firm, and I should have kind of went against the grain of what my ex-wife didn't want me to do, and I should have done it anyway because I would be in this upper echelon of like fright rags and trick or treat and stuff. Instead, I had to start over 8 years ago, but those two guys have been helping me build my brand. So
That's awesome.
I mean, I'll always be forever grateful for Aaron Kroll from Horror Hound, Ben Scrivens from Fright Rags, and Justin Mabry from Trick or Treat Studios. And of course, my girlfriend, Julie White, who insisted I get back into the game.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Without her, I couldn't have done any of this.
Yeah.
You know?
I know the feeling. Well, I'm out of questions, so I'm going to let you go ahead and boost your social medias out there, the Instagrams, the Facebook, whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah, I might. I'm thinking about posting a couple of pictures, progress on the star, the movable puzzle box, the star design, because I think people are really going to dig it.
Very cool. So where can they reach you at on your social media? Is it all under Nightmare Unlimited?
My social media, it is nightmares_unlimited. On Facebook is www.facebook.com/capital Nightmares, capital Unlimited.
Very good.
You can find us on Etsy under Nightmares Unlimited. And, you know, I'm behind in the time, so I don't have a Twitter or any of that shit yet.
Either do I.
I would have to hire somebody just to do social media. If I had
I know.
That's what he says.
I'm looking for like that high schooler that's building a portfolio for the future, so I can just pay him in demands.
or you get interns.
Yeah.
And they work for the experience.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah,
that'll be our secret. Don't tell anyone.
Oh yeah, my son's getting into video editing and he's doing cool little TikToks, but he has no interest in the Haunt universe. So I'm like, you're useless to me.
Oh shit! I forgot to mention. We're getting ready to drop a YouTube channel.
There you go.
With my character that I used on the haunted attraction. And he's Macumba. He's a voodoo priest, and we're gonna be doing like kind of like a variety show. We'll do like little comedy skits. We're gonna do top 5s and top 10s and stuff like that.
That sounds like
reviews. And it's gonna be a lot of fun. You know, if the YouTube thing takes off, hell, I might be doing that. I don't know what I'm gonna be doing in 10 years. I wish I did. It's like, what are your goals? It's like, Jesus, I have like 20 goals. So
right.
Which one do I settle on? I want to do all of them.
That's my goal. That's why I changed our logo from script to HH365, because if you don't know what it means it's anything.
Yeah, I'm like Pretty Woman over here. I want the fairy tale. I just want the fairy tale. I want it all.
Yep, I hear you.
Well, thanks for contacting me, guys.
No problem.
You peeps are great.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was a fun conversation.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, that's all we have for you today at HalloweenHaunts365.com, the podcast. Goodbye.
Bye.